Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing another episode of World in Flames CE Days of Decision 3 combined game playthrough. This will be the March-April 1941 turn. So things are getting a little bit heated up now on the board, a little bit. Last turn, it actually went right, the impulse marker actually ended up right at the end of the track. Very last impulse, I think it's 28. 28 before the turn actually ended. Couldn't roll nothing but 9s and 10s, I guess. And the weather was absolutely miserable. Blizzards everywhere, rain, storms, you name it, it was bad. So pretty much the match was shut down at the end of last turn. So let's go take a look at starting money for the major powers. I have to grab my tweezers. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, kind of like this spot right here. That's pretty good. There we go. Yeah. All right. So starting money for the major powers, we have Germany at 9, Japan at -7, Italy at -7. That's actually supposed to be a 7, not a squiggle. The Soviet Union at 7, the Commonwealth at -5, the U.S. at -3, China at -2, and the Free French are at -5. The Vichy French have like 10 or so. I think at this point they can start lending to the Germans build points. I believe they're hostile now. I'll have to look that up, but I think they're hostile. Okay, so major powers have put their bids in, so let's take a look at what we got. Here's the political initiative track. I'll try to get both of those in. So, well, actually, if I zoom out, it should be. There we go. All right. So we got the Soviet Union bidding 1, the U.S. is bidding 2, Germany's bidding 1, Japan's bidding 1, and Italy is bidding 1. The Soviet Union is the only ones that haven't geared up this year, that had the ability to gear up at the regular cost. So I think that's probably what they're going to be doing. So they bid 1. Last turn they took bonus bid points because they actually didn't have enough money to actually gear up. So that's going to give them a +8 for bonus bid points because it's twice your political effectiveness, which is 4, which would be 8. And their political position is second for 3. So that's going to be 1 + 8 + 3 is 12. That's going to definitely put them in first. The U.S. bid 2. They have a +4 for being in first. So that gives them a total of 6. That's going to put them in second. The Germans bid 1 for a +2 is 3. Japan also bid 1 for a +2 is 3. However, the German political effectiveness is higher than Japan, so they will break that tie. They will be third. The Japanese will be fourth. And the Italians bid 1. They get a +1 for being 6. They will be fifth. The first last card marker is on the Soviets, and the second last card marker is on the Italians. The Commonwealth has a +3 for the non-bidding powers. That's going to put them in 6. The Free French have a +1. That's going to put them in 7th. And the Chinese are last in 8th. Okay. Let's go take a look and see what the Soviets are going to do. Not a big surprise, I'm sure. From over here to the Indian Ocean. Well, since they didn't get to do it last turn, they have decided they're going to do it this turn. The Soviets are going to use Russian option 2, gear up. That will increase their production multiple 1 level. They will now be at, they move from half to 3/4, so they will actually see a significant production increase. And they meet the prerequisites for it. It's the current year, so that's the one they need to make. I've already put the markers out, and I've already recorded the U.S. entry. So all the Soviets have left to do is activate a miner. And I think they are worried about Turkey. They don't want the fascists getting Turkey. So I think they're going to try to manipulate the markers and activate Turkey and drive the Turks as far away from the Germans as they can. And there are a lot of German points here that were in Turkey, so this might be kind of interesting to see how this turns out. Alright, let's take a look at what we have for influence markers. We have 1 American, we have -1 for the French, we have 1 Italian, we have -5 for the Commonwealth, -5 for the Soviets, 6 for the Germans. So this might be kind of interesting. See how this actually turns out. Alright, I think we'll activate the 1 for the US. It's not going to move it. It takes at least 2 to move a hex. It's going to cost another point to go across those boundaries, so that's going to be an issue too. The -1 for the French is not going to do anything, so we'll activate that one. The +1 for the Italians is not going to do anything. We're going to activate that one. Now, this might be kind of important here, how we do this. British markers over here, off map, off the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the British can push it at least 1 hex, probably 2. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to activate the Commonwealth. That's -5. That's the 11th. That's the last hex that it can influence the markers. That's 2, and another 2 goes there. Now the Commonwealth can't influence Turkey anymore. Now, we definitely don't want to activate the 6 German. That would be bad. We want to try to keep Turkey outside of the fascist ideology. The Soviet marker is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, they have plenty of room to activate. They're going to activate the Soviet one now. That's a -5. It's going to drive it almost off the other edge of the map. 1, 2, right here. That leaves the 6 German points. This didn't really work out the way I think the Soviets wanted it. So it's going to take 2 to get it here. Then it's going to take 2 to enter this hex. However, you're crossing a boundary, so that's 3 more. So that's 5. There's 1 point left. So they would want to move it 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same. So the Soviets can try to push it into this hex. Costs 2 for the hex, 1 for the boundary. And that's 3. However, it's moving closer to Germany within their own ideology. So that would be a 2. There's only 1 point left, so it's stuck right there. It's really not exactly what the Soviets wanted, but it was better than having the Germans activate it and then manipulate it so the marker ends up here somewheres, which would have been really bad. Definitely would have been too close. Okay, so we don't have to roll to see if we end the political phase, because there's a +1 to the die because there's 4 to 6 major powers at war. So I'll move on to move the last card marker. Goes down to the U.S. and we'll move on to the U.S. and see what they're going to do. Okay, the U.S. We'll go over this real quick. It's going to choose U.S. entry option 9, East Coast Escorts. Now that's part of U.S. entry. You hear me talking about that, recording U.S. entry and various other things to do with U.S. entry. So at this time, U.S. entry for Germany is 54.5. It has gone down from last term because of all the Allied gear-ups. The Italian U.S. entry is 12.5, and the Japanese U.S. entry is 20. Now, East Coast escorts, the prerequisite for that is Germany plus Italy's U.S. entry is greater than 55. Well, 54.5 plus 12.5, they do it. Commonwealth is at war with the USA, and the USA does have a treaty with the Commonwealth. So what this does, I'll end up putting the markers out, but I want to go over this real briefly. This is U.S. entry options. This is out of the World in Flames rules. Number 11. Number 11 is East Coast escorts. After you choose this option, and while neutral, up to 5 U.S. CVs and surface ships in the 0 section of the U.S. East Coast Sea area may take part in combat round in which Allied convoys are included, while still remaining neutral. So now the U.S. will actually be able to fight German U-boats on the East Coast, if there are any there. The next one is number 16, Gift of Destroyers. The next 10 surface ships the Commonwealth starts, completes, or repairs where the U.S. is neutral cost 1 less. So we'll save the Commonwealth some money with the next 10 ships. And the last one is number 20, land-based air escorts. It allows the U.S. to put land-based air anywhere they can escort convoys, which right now is the East Coast. The funny thing is they don't actually have any land-based air, so I guess that's not going to matter too much. Alright, so I'm going to put the markers out. I'll come right back with the U.S. activating a miner, and then we'll see if they roll to end the turn. And the last thing we do is, for the U.S. is, well, not last, the next to last thing we do is we activate a miner. And I think the U.S. has got its eye on Brazil. They would like to get Brazil aligned, if they could, potentially. So we'll grab the markers. We'll come over here to the status display. We got a -1 Italian. That's not going to do anything, so we'll just blow that off. And we got a 2 U.S. The U.S. is down here, Brazil's right here, and we're just going to move it right there. Almost got them in the Democrat ideology. Almost. Next thing they do, roll to see if they end the political phase. If not, that's an 8. That's an 8. So the political phase will continue. We'll move down to Germany. Alright. Let's see what the Germans are going to do. I think I know what they're going to do. They're going to try to help out the Italians here a little bit, maybe. The Germans are going to go with influence. That's this one right here. It's going to cost, initiative position is less than the miners' willpower. I got to check that out first. I gotta check that out. Yes, we're all set. We're all set. Okay, so the initiative position is less than the miners' willpower. Bulgaria's willpower is 5. Okay, show you right here. That's Bulgaria. Their willpower is listed right here. That's a 5. Germany's initiative position is 3, so she makes that. The cost is going to be, it's going to be 9 minus the willpower of the miner. So the willpower is, you said it was 5, so it's going to cost 4. And it's basically just roll a die. Let me grab my dice. See what we can get for a roll here. Alright. Oh, Christ. Wow, that's pretty cool. Alright, and we actually rolled a 10. There's been 3 major powers that have tried influence. Maybe 4. That have tried the influence option, and I think the die rolls have all been north of 8 for every single one of them. So a die roll of 10 for influence is going to give +5 into Bulgaria. Wow, that's something. But the way that goes, we'll grab a 5 marker here for the Germans. The way that goes, usually you roll all high or you roll all low. You roll all low and nothing gets done. Okay, and I think the Germans are going to activate Bulgaria. I'll grab the other marker that's in there. There's a +2 Soviet marker. I'll put the markers out right here. So we got 5 German. We're going to activate them first. It's going to be 2 for this hex, and it's going to be 2 for this hex, +1 for the boundary. So it's going to cost 3. That takes all 5. Now the Soviet marker is 2. To move to this hex towards the Soviet Union, it's going to cost 2, but it's going to cost another 1 to cross the boundary. In addition, okay, there are no allied major powers, so it's just going to cost 3. So the Soviet marker is going to get blown off with no effect. Alright, last thing we do is roll a die to see if Germany ends the political phase. Not going to make Japan too happy. Let's see, there has been 2 previous political options played. So that's a -2 to the die. However, and we rolled a 3. Right there, we rolled a 3. However, because there's 4 to 6 major powers at war, where is that chart anyways? I don't remember. There's 4 to 6 major powers at war, that adds 1 to the die. So the 1 becomes a 2. So it's 3 minus 2 for the previous political options, +1 will be a net of -1. It's a 2. The political phase continues, and we move down to Japan. Japan. Alright, we'll be right back. I'll dig the paperwork out. We'll see what they're going to do. Japan's going with minor alliance. They're going to choose Chile for their alliance. Now, it's going to be a die roll. Okay, so it's going to cost 5 money. We're going to add 1 to the die for each factory resource marker. Well, the Japanese have 1. I'm going to add the miner's willpower. The miner's willpower, right here. Miner's willpower. Chile is a 5. So that's a +5. That's a +6 total. Subtract your initiative position. Japan's initiative position is 4. So now we're at +2. Subtract the distance in hexes on the status display. Okay, well, Chile is stacked with Japan. And subtract 2 if the miner's hostile to you. No, and you're not trying to break an alliance. Okay, so it's going to be a +2. We need anything more than a 0. An 8 is going to be 10. The alliance is signed. It's the treaty chart, if successful. So I will put the markers out for the influence markers for the miners and record the U.S. entry, and I'll be right back with activating miner for Japan. Okay, I put all the markers out. Next thing for Japan to do is activate a miner after that successful alliance with Chile, and I think they're going to activate Argentina. So let's grab the markers. This will actually be important how we do this. Okay. Alright, we got 4 German, 1 French, 2 Italian, and -2 Japanese. So, we're going to activate the French. That doesn't do anything. Argentina is right here. Okay. Now, we're going to activate the Italian. Okay, and that's going to draw Argentina closer to Italy. Then I think we're going to activate the German. That's 4 points. That's going to drag it. That's 3. That's 2 for the hex, 1 to cross a boundary. It's 3. To go another hex, it's 2 for the hex, 1 to cross a boundary is 3. -1 moving toward Lines from moving towards you and your ideology would be 2. There's not enough. There's only 1 point left, so the last point is blown off. Now we'll activate the -2 Japanese. Japan is over here. Let's see, I gotta take care of that. Japan is over here. So it's going to push the Argentine marker this direction. It's basically going to go, let's see, well maybe it won't. Okay, it's 2 for the hex. Okay, there's no allied major powers, so it's just going to cost 2. So, yeah, it will end up there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, well, next thing up. Japan rolls to see if they end the political phase. Won't make the Italians too happy, but that's when you're 5, you can't guarantee being, well, I rolled a 5. So we've had 3 previous political options played. 1 for the Soviets, 1 for the US, 1 for the Germans. That's 3 previous political options. So that's a -3, but +1 because there is 4+ major powers at war. So that's going to be a -2. 5 minus 2 is 3. The political phase will continue. Move on down to Italy. Alright, let's go see what the Italians want to do. Okay, a whole bunch of reinforcements. Just basically put them up here so you can see them. So it's going to be going on the map. There's a couple others I already put on the board. About to press the record button. Sometimes that happens. There's also 5 German offensive points that got added. So I'll get all this on the map, and I'll be right back with the. I'll be right back whenever there's a combat. We're going to start out with the communist impulse, and then democracy's impulse, and then fascist impulse. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, well, the communists just moved a few units around in Russia. They also moved a unit over in China. That exhausted their allotment for combined action. The Democrats, okay, down here in the Mediterranean, sent their sub out. Ignore the Italian stuff because it arrived here during the fascist impulse. But they sent their sub out. They went hunting for the 1 Italian convoy point and the 1 Italian tanker, and they succeeded in finding it. They succeeded in getting 6 surprise points, and they ended up damaging both of those both the tanker point and the convoy point. So they're over in the repair pool now. So the British got a little bit of payback for all the sub action that they've had. The Chinese communists, I don't actually think they actually moved any units. I think they kind of stayed pat the way they were. The fascists have sent their subs to the North Atlantic. They have sent their fleet to the St. Vincent, Cape St. Vincent. That's a naval action for the Germans. The Italians also selected a naval action. Excuse me. So they're down there. And I think we'll start in the North Atlantic first. I think we'll start right there. All right. Okay, grab the dice. It's fine weather, so we'll flip a unit to try to get some action here. I should dig that chart out. All right. No, there are no navs, no carriers. Okay, let's see how many convoy points the Commonwealth has here. Let's get the ships off. There's 2 ships there. They got 4, 11, 12, 13, 15. So it's a -1 for every 10 or part thereof. So it's going to be a -2. So the fascists are going to have -2 to their die. I'm going to roll some dice. All right. Well, they did find them. We rolled a 2 for the fascists, and we rolled a 1 for the Commonwealth. Now the fascists have a -2, so that's 0. They won't get to pick the action. Okay, let me check into this. Okay, neither side has naval air, so it won't be a naval air combat. So the active side now decides whether it's going to be sub-combat or surface combat, and we're going to go with sub-combat. Grab the chart. Every 5 convoy points is an ASW. So he's got 1, 2. He's got 4 ASW. There's no surprise point. Well, there's 1 surprise point, but it can't do anything with 1 surprise point. So I've got 4 ASW, and I have 6 subs. Right? 6 subs there. Yes, there's a total of 6 subs there. He has 4 ASW, and I have 6 subs. So let's see what he gets. 4 ASW, 6 subs, 1 damaged, 3 aborted. All right. 1 damaged and 3 aborted. Okay, so let's see. He picks first, so he'll take one of the 9s for damage. So I have to roll a 10 to save it. And I don't, so he's damaged. He's going to go to the damage pool. Oh, not before he fights, though. Okay. And the next one is me. I'll choose one of the 8s for damaged. Oh, no. 1 damaged, 3 aborted. Yeah, okay. I'll choose one of the 8s for an abort. Nope, he gets aborted. And choose a 9 for an abort. He's aborted. And the last one is an 8 for an abort. They're all aborted. So this looks like this is going to be a 1-round number. Let's see. What do I got for points here? I got 3, 6, 9. And 4 is 13. 15. I got a total of 15 points coming back at him. Alright, and he has each 3 convoys. That's 5, 7 ships. 15 points, 7 ships. That's going to be 1 sunk, 2 damaged. So I'm going to take 3 convoy points for sunk. Definitely. Okay. And for damage, he's going to go with the, whatever this one is, dispatch. No, for damage, he's going to go with the Effingham. Because it's a 7. And he saves. It's now an aborted. So it's going to abort. And then the next one's for me. We'll try to damage the dispatch. It doesn't. It's an abort. So it just gets aborted. Okay, so 2 ships aborted. I've got 4 ships aborted. 1 damaged, going in the damage pool. And that leaves me with 2. I could flip that one over and try to do another round. I mean, probably is ASW is probably. I'm just gonna leave. We're just gonna leave. Go back home for now. All right. Well, that was okay because well we didn't do too bad as far as the Germans go, and the British are okay with it. They didn't lose too much. Now we got this little gem right here. So, well, should we do naval air on that? Nah, we're going to do surface combat. I'm going to try to do surface combat. Alright. So, both sides roll. One friendly nav. Okay, so I don't think the Germans have any. No, they don't. Okay, so this is going to be, this box is going to be 3. This is going to be a 3, and this is going to be a 4. All right. Well, that's an interesting roll. We got a 1 and a 3. So the Germans, let's see, we got 1, 3, 7. There's 7 convoy points here. So that's going to subtract 1. So everything for the Germans is in there. And let's just figure out the surprise points real quick. So I have a 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And my unmodified is a 1, 0 is 1. So that's 6 surprise points. Germans got 6 surprise points, despite the roll being so close. Let's see. Well, we're not going to do naval air, I don't think. I think we'd rather just use the surface guns on them, because we're basically going to annihilate everything there. Of course, he's going to come back at me, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. All right, I'm going to be right back with the numbers. Okay, figured it all out. The Commonwealth is going to have 2 aborted. So for aborted, we'll pick, well actually he picks it first. He's going to try to abort the Prince Eugen. And it doesn't. It is half aborted. I will try to abort, well, let's see. This guy, the Spanish guy right here. And nope, he's half aborted. So that's totally ineffective. Now, I used 2 surprise points to shift him down a column. I have the Germans have 87 surface points. I'm going to use the last 4 surprise points to shift it up 2 columns. He has 3, 6, 7 ships. All right. That's 1. That's 1. Seven ships. All right, so 7 ships is going to be 4 sunk, 1 damaged, 3 aborted. Whatever's there is going to be gone. So 4 sunk, 1 damaged, 3 aborted. So for the first sunk, I will pick the Aurora. So he gets to roll to save it, and it's damaged. Okay, so flip it over to. Now he picks a sunk. He will pick the Achilles. That's actually sunk. That one is sunk. And then I pick a sunk. I'm going to take 3 convoy points. Don't have any change. won't work. How come that's a 3 and a 4? Oh yeah, okay. DoDIII. And take that off. So that is sunk. Those two are sunk. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3. And now he has the last sunk. He's going to take the Ajax. Hope it only gets damaged. It's only damaged. So 2 ships are damaged. Now we got another damage. Okay, that's going to take those out. Those are damaged. They go in the damage pool. And that's going to be aborted. Alright. And these are damaged. They're going to abort and be damaged. Like that. That's the end of that. Now let's go over here and take a look at the Italians. Alright, they got an amphibious assault. There's 2 notional strength there. No, there's 1 notional. And we have 2, 4, 5, and 5 shore bombardment is 10. They get ashore. And that was pretty easy. Okay, let's go take a look at the Japanese. They're doing a land action. All right, let me get my tweezers. All right, over here we got 2 ground strikes. We have a 2 and a 3. There's 2 units. Okay, so the top unit, the red will be the 3. Okay, we got a 3 and a 0, 3 and a 10. So the top unit is flipped over. And the next unit, well, you got a 3 and a 2. That unit is also flipped over. That's actually, that happens to be Mao. Okay. These 2 guys got to go home. They did their job and then some. Make sure it's in range. Both 5s. Okay. Oh, geez. Take these things off and forget to put them. Oh, jeez. Crying out loud. That's supposed to be there. And he's supposed to be here. You can pick these things up and then forget to put them back. Alright. So what we have here is we have a 2-to-1 attack. Going to have a +2. And we have, this is across a river. So we have 6, 8, 13, which is 6.5. And here we have 13.5, 16.5, 23.5, 29.5 to, I believe, is 13. 29.5 to 13. We're never going to get to 39, so there's no sense in even trying. So 29.5. There's 2-to-1 who use HQ support, so that's going to be a 2-to-1 on the assault table +3. Oh, okay. 2-to-1 +3. Oh. See, we got 2-to-1 +3. Rolled a 9. 9 on the 2-to-1 +3 is a 12. Actually, it's +2 because there's a factory there. So it's going to be an 11 on the 2-to-1 chart. That's going to be a 2-to-1 chart. Blitzkrieg, 2-1. And 11 is a cross, 2S. Cross means half the attackers remain face up. And 2S means those 2 units are shattered. Oh, those 2 units are dead. And half the attackers remain face up. Okay. I think we want to push the... Well, he's got to stay. He's got to go face down. Yep. That's 1. Put that in there. No. Yeah. Those 2 in there. And he gets flipped over. And I guess the artillery gets flipped over. I want to do that. 5, 7. So I got to be careful here because the communists can actually launch an attack, which is 14. I have 6, 9, 10. They have, that would be a 1-to-1 attack plus 2. Well, you know, I've done that before. 1-to-1 attack plus 2. I think he's foolish enough to make a 1-to-1 attack plus 1. Plus I got ground support right here, which is right on this X, I believe. Yep. Where's my fighter? There we go. Alright, the Japanese look good. They're kind of happy with that. Killed Mao. Takes a long time for Mao to come back. I think it's 5 turns. Alright. Okay. That's the end of the fascist impulse. I'll come right back after the communists and the Democrats are finished. If there's any attacks, I'll break then. So on the Democrat impulse, I'll just show you real quick. The communists kind of filled the hole in right here best they could. A couple of flipped over units. I don't really worry about getting attacked at this point, but that's pretty much the best they can do with this situation. Alright, over here, Cape St. Vincent, we're going to have some naval, potential naval. So the British will flip a ship, try to do something, try to destroy those pesky Spanish and German peoples over there messing around with their convoys. Not very nice. Search rolls. Well, let's see. We got, don't look like the British found anything, I don't think. Let's go take a look. Okay. Got a 4 for the fascists and a 9 for the Commonwealth. Let's see. So this 2 is going to be a 3. There's no convoy points. So this, let's see. So it's my unmodified, my highest box, which is going to be 4, plus his die. It's 9, that's a 13. 13 for the fascists. Now, the Commonwealth, my roll for them was a 9. So their highest box is, geez, what's that fleet got in it? Oh, that's the Med fleet. Don't think there's anything worth much of anything in there. Yeah, there's no carrier planes that have, there's one carrier. One carrier in the Med Fleet. Okay. So, that's going to be, his highest box is 3, plus my die is 7. Okay, so I have this is the, I don't think anybody found, I think this is the only ship that found something. That's the only ship that found something, because the Germans don't have any carrier planes that are, yeah, and he's just gonna, he doesn't have to do any combat. He can just refuse combat, which is what he's gonna do. And you gotta fight the convoys or anything, okay? Alright, so that was a big nothing. Because the 4, yeah, they're 3, yeah, they don't have anything. It's an unmodified, the search box number is 3. There's no carrier planes at a range of 4, so that's it. Alright, I'll continue on. Okay, we've come back around to the fascists. Oh, the weather roll was a, the weather roll resulted in rain in the Arctic, and the impulse marker will now move up 2 per impulse instead of 1. So, the Germans have picked a air impulse, paid for it with oil, and decided they're going to bomb London. So we got an air battle. So we got our fighter streams here, and we have our German bomber stream. So the difference is going to be 6.6, 7.1, 2.5, 9, 6.2, 7.1. So that's going to be +1, -1. And we have a +1 and a -1. So the Commonwealth is rolling first. Air-to-air combat, -1. They rolled an 8 on the -1 table, and 8 is a blank. The Germans now roll. They rolled a 7 on the +1. Attacker aborts. Attacker aborts defenders, front fighter, or front bomber. So we're going to abort the British front fighter. You'll go there. All right. And next, we calculate. We got 4.3. We got 7.1 to 4.3. That's a difference of 2.8. That's going to be +3, -3. And British roll. They rolled an 11. That's an 11. You can see that. On the -3 column, an 11 is defender clears through front bomber. Is that right? DC, defender clears through any one bomber. Any one bomber. We will clear through this because it's a lot of points. Alright, and now the Germans roll on the +3 column. They roll a 14 on a +3. Attacker abort. Attacker aborts. Defenders front fighter, front bomber. So we'll abort this British fighter. There's 2 aborts right there. I think the British are going to get slaughtered. I think at this point they would just abort. The bombing mission is going to get through. Not much we can do about it. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright. So we have a total of 3, 5, 9, looks like 13. 13 bombing points. Strategic bombing, 13. Roll a die. That's going to be low altitude. We did fight air to air. Roll a die. It could be a big nothing burger. 6. 2 production points lost. So the Commonwealth will lose 2 production points. Gotta note that somewheres. Okay, and that's the end of that. And I think I can be back, see if the Japanese got anything to do. Well, back to the Democrats again. The weather roll that the communists made was a 2. Yes, it was a 2, which is blizzard, Arctic, storm, north temperate, snow, north temperate, storm, Mediterranean, rain, north monsoon, storm, south monsoon, storm, south temperate. So basically, about all that's going to happen might happen right here. So the British flip the ship. They're going to try to do something here. Well, that's not a very good roll for the British. Oops, what was that? Come here. Bug. Alright, so we got a 2 for the Germans, Spanish, and a 5 for the British. Well, now this is a little bit different. Okay. Okay, can't add anything for navs or anything, or carrier planes. And it's going to be a +1 to search rolls. So the Commonwealth search roll is a 6, and the German search roll is a 3. So the Germans can include their number 3 fleet, which is this guy, the Lancashire. Okay, along with these, but not these. They didn't find anything. So I think we're going to engage the Med fleet in a gunnery duel. I got to figure out the surprise points. My highest box, 4, plus his unmodified search roll is a 9. His highest box, 3, is a 5. So there's 4 surprise points. Okay, I'll be right back with the numbers. Okay, this is what it came out like. The Commonwealth is going to be in the 21 to 28 column from the surprise shifts for damage. So he's going to do 1 sunk, 2 damaged, 3 aborted. 1 sunk, 2 damaged, 3 aborted. And the Germans and Spanish has 15 ships. I'm going to do 3 sunk, 1 damaged, 1 aborted. 3 sunk, 1 damaged, 3 aborted. Okay. Alright, well, we'll do the British first. They get to pick what they want to damage or abort. I think they're going to try to sink. Let's get rid of the damn Spanish. Okay, we're going to try to sink the Canarias, whatever that is. Okay, he's a 7. And he saves. He's damaged. That's pretty bad. Okay. And I got 2 damaged. So I'll pick the Bluka. Guess we'll pick the Bluka for damage. And he saved. So he's aborted now. He's aborted. So then we have 3 aborts. Commonwealth will pick the Bismarck. When he's half aborted. I'll pick the Prince Eugen. He's half aborted. And the Commonwealth will pick the Bismarck again. And he's aborted. So the Bismarck is full abort. Okay, now we got the Germans. They got 65 to 80, 15 ships. He's got 3 sunk, 1 aborted, 1 damaged. 3 sunk, 1 aborted, 1 damaged. Alright. Okay, so 3 sunk. Alright. Alright. Let's try to get rid of the Renown. I'll pick that one for a sunk. And he indeed is sunk. Indeed is sunk. Alright, the British player will pick. Boy. What is the one with the highest number? Or the lowest? Oh, we're going to pick the Nelson. Commonwealth will pick the Nelson. It's a 2. It is damaged. For the last sunk, I will pick the Nelson. It is damaged again. 2 damages equal a sunk. So there's 2 Commonwealth ships sunk. And then we have 1 damaged. And he'll pick the Rodney. I got the Rodney here, yes. Okay. Oh, he makes a save, so he's aborted. And I have an abort. I'll take the Resolution. And he's aborted. So he's got like 2 ships aborted. I have like 3. Okay. I think at the end of the combat round, the Germans are going to choose to abort. They're just all going to go home. Spanish are going to go home. They got a ship damaged. Imagine that. Alright, and that's the end of that. And I'll be back with if anything else happens. Okay, the turn ended after the the turn ended after the communist impulse. The weather actually went completely clear everywhere, fair weather everywhere. And as soon as the communists finished their turn, they rolled in to turn in, it ended. So their marker moved down to the -1 box now. Okay, so there was no partisan activity. I did U.S. entry for the city the Japanese took, plus for each of the fascist powers that are at war with the Democrat right now. And we got production. So, Germany Germany produced 34, started with 16, and spent 24. And real quick here. Okay, so built some combat air groups, some aircraft, a couple pilots, and a few units. Also repaired the Spanish Navy and submarines. The Italians spent $1 repairing their convoy. The Japanese produced 19, started with 6, and spent 11. Pulled the Hiryu out of the construction pool. The Italians produced 10, started with -1, spent 1. The Soviets produced 22, started with 18, and spent 22. Some infantry, pilots, anti-aircraft gun, an HQ, tactical bomber, motorized unit. The Commonwealth produced 15, started with 10, spent 18. They repaired a whole lot of ships. They took advantage of the the discount for the 10 points for the destroyers to England. Option that the United States played last turn. They basically, I just let them spend it all. You know, I just let them spend it all. Anyways, that's why I don't have to remember. Okay, so the United States produced 26. Notice their production has gone up quite a bit. Started with 20 and spent 25. You can see here they're actually ramping up production on a lot of things now. China produced 3, got 2 from Cadre, got 1 from the United States. So that put them at 6. And they started with 4 and they spent 5. They rebuilt Mao. They really need to have their headquarters. So the Free French produced 1 and started with -4 and spent nothing. So I will get these put on the production circle and get this turn possibly uploaded even tonight. Thanks for watching.